All right. All right, let's do it. Thanks for your patience. Let's start with your questions. Any questions that you have? Start with that.
I do have a question from, like day 2.
Good.
The homework was the brief biography of Krishnamacharya, Barbara Brennan, and Dr. David Hawkins. Did we cover David Hawkins?
Not yet. Not yet. I'll be teaching him specifically. But when I say a brief biography, it means just Google him and just write a few sentences about him so that you'll have heard of him and hopefully start the process of learning about him. But yes, I will be teaching about him specifically.
Did talk about Barbara Brennan?
Just briefly. Just briefly. I'm not here to teach about them too much. Krishnamacharya, yes, we spoke about him.
Yeah.
Barbara Brennan, I just wanted you to know about her, so I've given you her name and given you that assignment. But no, I don't teach about her too much. She's a master of energy of the highest level. She has a school of energy work, and it's extremely advanced, and she has a few books that talk about healing with your hands. So she's a true master, and I wanted you to have a female master, not male masters. So that's mostly it. Yeah. Yeah.
Can it be food talk questions?
Yeah.
What about corn and oils?
Corn. Corn's all right. It's hard to eat it if you don't cook it. It's almost impossible to digest it. You poop corn in the same form that you eat it. A lot of times you can see the corn in your poop. So it is what it is. Certainly delicious. I eat corn. It's not a health food. It's just a food that you eat, like beans and that kind of category of stuff. That it's good enough for sure, but it's not like apples. Yeah. And then what was the other part of your question? If you're going to ever have to cook with oil, you should cook with coconut oil exclusively. So that's a fact. Okay? Never cook with other oils unless you don't have a choice. And also, the coconut oil is a superior oil in all cases. We're not really designed to eat oils, so they're not like healthy. Olive oil is not healthy. No. Delicious. I eat it, with my bread, my hummus, but the olive oil is not the best part. Okay? But if you're going to eat oil, it should be something raw and in moderation. But coconut oil, you can have as much as you want. It's our food, basically. Yeah. All right? Good? Yeah?
There's a question here I couldn't find the answer in my brain.
Good.
What is the key to creating good pressure in body work?
Okay, excellent. So the questions about pressure, what day?
Day 9.
Day 9, yeah. The simple answer is to use your body weight. Body weight, in other words, leaning and using your body weight. Like when we were doing the foot massage and you have to leave your whole body, that's how you get good pressure, is by using your body weight instead of using your muscular tension. Okay? So that's the basic answer. Simple.
We do shoulder stand and rope headstand because of the pressure on the head, or is there another reason why forearm stand is not instead of headstand?
Okay, excellent. So you basically have 3 inverted poses that are in a similar genre. You've got headstand, forearm stand, and handstand. Everyone agree that those are 3 poses that are all upside down and not too far away from each other? Okay. Well, which one is the more advanced, which one's the medium advanced, and which one's the least? Between handstand, forearm stand, and headstand. What do y'all think? No, I didn't say shoulder stand. I said handstand, forearm stand, and headstand.
I think handstand.
So we'll say handstand is more, and headstand more advanced. Okay. Forearm stand more advanced, easiest. Okay. Good debate, right? Okay. And I use the word very specifically about advanced as opposed to hard or easy. So the most advanced pose is headstand on your head because it's the most dangerous pose. The middle one, the middle level is forearm stand. And handstand is also middle level, or we could say handstand is really for everybody also. Anyone who can do handstand can do handstand. It's okay. They're not going to hurt themselves. Headstand's a very different thing. And so the reason why we teach forearm stand and we teach hand stand is because the head is not on the ground. And if the head is not touching the ground, then the neck is not really in danger. The neck becomes in danger when the head touches the floor, and then your body weight is on top of your head. Okay? But in these other poses, your head is not on the ground, your neck is not at risk, assuming you're using the wall, and assuming you know what you're doing. I still will be teaching you that next week, because I have a day of advanced adjustments and these forearm stands, handstands, and how to work with all that stuff. Okay? Does that answer your question? It's about safety. Yeah, good. All right, ready to move on? Got your questions answered up till now? Yeah, good. Keep going. The more the better.
On homework question number 5, so we know where the correct way to set up the blankets. We know where the head goes. What if you don't have blankets? Folded yoga mat?
If you don't have blankets, you teach it the way that we teach it.
You teach it with the hips.
Yes, yes, exactly right. What else? Any, general questions? This is our session of the day. Could be about food, it could be about whatever you want. Then we're going to talk about Om.
Is this day 10 or day 9?
This is in between day 9 and 10 and 6.
Okay.
Because right now this is day 6.
I have a question
About Om. Huh?
I have a question about the music sequence.
Yeah.
Here, there's the dolphin and the option for forearm stand.
Good.
That
Yeah, we don't do it there.
Dolphin or
You just put parentheses. That's not for the public, but in your own personal practice, it's fine to do it there. Okay. Good. Good clarifications is what we want. Who's been teaching victims? Who has time for victim teaching? Not too much, right? You're going home and you got your lives and your kids. So that's the end of that story. But
Well, I tried. I asked my brother and he told me the flexibility thing, so that's why I asked him.
oh, okay. He
Now
said,
I'm going to get
you got the new answer for him? Yeah. Good. Yeah. Okay. Well, do your best. Although you guys are doing great with teaching, so it's not that I'm in any way feeling like you're needing to practice more, like you're falling behind. But it just is important for your own sakes. Okay. So you don't have any questions? Let's talk about Om. Okay. This is day 6, talking about Om. Finishing up that. Close your eyes. And just begin to let go of everything that you know. Let go of your processing mind. Go of your personality type thoughts. Start to feel that you are inhabiting a world of magnetic, vibratory, electromagnetic, vibratory pulsation. All around you is energy and waves and fields of pulsation. And you are that, of that nature, vibratory nature. And the source of the vibratory nature of the universe is called Om. Om is the source. And Om has two manifestations. It has what's called unmanifested Om and the manifested Om. Inside your body is a vibratory sound, a high frequency sound. Some of you can hear it when you're very quiet in deep meditation. You could hear a high-pitched vibrational sound in one of your ears. That's the unmanifested sound of Om, just vibrating always within you and all around you. The manifested is Om as we know it, which originally is of a three-part sound, representing the three phases of the universe, of growth, of perseverance, of destruction, in which case it's A, U, and When we chant Aum, please visualize energy starting at the base of your spine. And then as the Om or the Aum continues through the U, it's moving up your spine. And as the Aum becomes the part, the vibratory experience is in your mind, in your head, in your brain. Okay? So let's do that. Sit up. Inhale. See energy moving up your spine. When the sound of A and the sound of U conjoin, it makes the sound O. Inhale. All right, open your eyes. I'll teach you how to Om right now in a moment. But whether we're talking about Sanskrit as a language or Om as energy, vibration. We're talking about something that your intellect and your thinking mind, the less they're involved, the better, because this is a subject of energy, pulsation, and vibration, and it is your very nature. And it goes well beyond your intellectual reach. Okay? All right. Let's first learn how to write Om. Okay? So let's just do it one step at a time. Okay? There are more than one ways to write the symbol of Om. There are hundreds of versions of the Om as a symbol, but let's first just learn how to write it, because there's going to be a little homework practice relating to Om, where you're going to have to write Om in what's called japa. Japa is repetition. So let's just learn first how to write it. The first part of Om is this part. Okay, the part that kind of looks like a number 3. From there, from the middle, you come out, up, down, and usually you're not going to connect these 2 points. Okay, it's more common that these are not going to be connected. There's going to be space there. Of course, as I said, there's hundreds of versions of Om as a symbol, as it's written. From there comes the half moon, and from there comes the bindu, the dot. Okay, so it would go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See that? Okay? So your homework is to do this on a blank piece of paper, as small as you can write, all the way across and all the way down and all the way across. So you're filling an entire blank page full of Om as you're also chanting Om in your mind. Before I forget, that is a homework assignment called japa. That is how to write Om. And I have told you that Om originally is this, A, U, and This is Brahma. This is Vishnu. This is Shiva. I think Shani talked about this already. Yeah. Expansion, U, okay, together. A and U together make O. So that's where it becomes Om. We are actually talking now about an entire branch of yoga. One of the deepest, most original, authentic branches of yoga. It's called Nada Yoga. Anybody ever heard of that before? Nada Yoga. The word nada or nadam is kind of what I was describing a moment ago in this whole meditation thing, where I was describing that you have an energy current or vibratory field that is responsible for everything around you. It's the source of the organization of all fields, and it has, for us, an unmanifested version, which is this vibratory high-pitched sound that if you're really lucky you can hear it and meditate on it, and that's called nadam. And the science and the practice of Nada Yoga is to listen to that sound, is to detect that sound, is to calibrate your attention to that sound, that high-pitched sound. Some of you can hear it. Have you ever heard of tinnitus?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a very, it's funny that in spiritual world, in India, in the world of people that understand this subject, if you have tinnitus and you can hear that sound, it's an auspicious thing. It's seen as a gift. It's seen as a blessing. You're seen as lucky. Here, in the United States, if you have tinnitus, it's told that you have some sort of disease and now you have to take medication and you're some sort of sick person. Isn't that fascinating? Okay, but it's the same exact phenomenon, which is the detection of a high-pitched vibratory sound within you. It's the sound of you. You're not silent. You know how much energy is running through your body? Okay, so that sound, which is constantly vibrating, and within which we are constantly being bathed by, the sound of Om is the source of the universe. This is why it's seen as God. This is a sacred symbol, okay? It's the most sacred of all because it is representing the source. When we talk about the source, we're talking about the source of all. Everything is vibration, everything is energy, everything is pulsation, and this is the source. All right. Now the last thing I wrote here is Anahata Nadam. That's the full name of the sound. This vibratory sound, the full name is Anahata Nadam, because it's said to exist in the heart. Although we hear it here, it's said to exist in the heart center. This sound, this vibration, that is Anahata. Anahata means it never stops. You know that your heart chakra is called Anahata, right? These girls, their brand is called Anahata. Anahata means not struck. It means not hit, not, remember she had brought the gong, whenever that was, yesterday, the day before, the gong came around, right? And in order for the gong to make noise, she had to strike it, right? And if she strikes the gong, it makes a vibratory sound. Isn't that true? But if she doesn't hit it, it doesn't make a noise. Isn't that true? Okay. So that's a struck sound. But what about a vibration that you don't have to strike it? It's always vibrating. That's Anahata. It's an unstruck sound. It's the eternal vibratory field. The other reason why your heart chakra is called Anahata is because your heart is where Atman is supposedly lives. Atman, your eternal connection, your eternal center, your eternal nature is said to live there. So that means that that's the part of you that's eternal, living in your heart. So if it's eternal, it's not touchable. That's what the other meaning of Anahata, untouchable. Okay? Unstruck or untouchable, both describing aspects of the heart. Okay? And Anahata Nadam is the sound, the unstruck sound that we are looking to detect in the inner ear, but only in a very quiet place. You can't do it when there's construction and people honking the horn and radio playing and your neighbors and noises. No, this is a very subtle thing. Like, this is the kind of thing you really want to go into a cave, okay? Inside of a cave, that kind of silence. And then, because you have to quiet your mind, everything has to be quiet. And then you begin to start to detect a extremely high frequency sound, and then that is actually the practice and the real intention of Nada Yoga is to connect to that sound, meditate on that sound, and use that sound as a point of concentration. All right? Now let me teach you how to Om. If you have any questions, you're welcome to stop me at any time. This is not like the food talk.
So the Nada Yoga is basically more meditation than the physical practice?
Yeah, absolutely. It's entirely that. Yeah. Okay, so if there's no questions, let's learn how to Om. Okay? In this Western world, we are generally chanting it as Om. Okay? Of course, you're always welcome and always valid and absolutely authentic and correct to chant it as Aum. But today I'm going to teach the Om as O. All right? So everybody say the sound O. O. Ready? You have to make like a circle with your lips, yeah? And we're going to just do an extended O. We're not chanting Om, we're only chanting O, okay? Make the O of O's. Ready? We're going to do that again. Just O. So I can clear my throat. One more time. Now, it is not difficult to chant Om in a very professional way, I mean, lack of a better word. All you would need to do is say O, and then watch this. Om. See all I did? Was this? I just said it once. Om. I didn't even chant it. Om. Sounds great, because it is great. Let's do that. Just say O, and then Om. Ready? Om. So please do not have any suggestions, auto-suggestion, that says that you can't chant, or that you don't have a good voice, or that you don't feel comfortable, none of that, okay? This is simply a vibrational sound and everyone can do it. Let's now go with a long O and a short M. Ready? O. Now, I normally give this lesson in a few minutes, but I will give it to you now. And it's called, the lesson is called harmony. Okay? One of the benefits of chanting Om in a class or in a group setting is that it harmonizes and brings together the group. Okay? So it's bringing a unity to the group, a harmony to the group. But in order for there to be a harmony to the group, there has to be a harmony in the sound. And this is the reason why you as a teacher always have to be the first Om. You have to be the first one. You can't let the students start to Om before you. You understand? Like, if you're chanting 3 Oms and you got the first one, Om, now the second one's coming. You have to be first. You cannot let someone in the room start the Oms before you, because of what I'm about to tell you, which is about harmony. And you need to have the room harmonizing. Around who? Around you. Okay? So for example, and this is, something that does come up, you might be chanting, and someone in the back of the room or somewhere they are. Right? They're in their own world. They're not in harmony, and it really sounds like an unacceptable experience, in my mind at least. So at that point, in between the first Om and the second Om, you would tell the group, harmonize with me. And then hopefully they're going to get it. And then if in between the second one they still don't get it, before the third one, you can get a little bit more strong with your instruction, which is say, Use your ears and harmonize with me, okay? And then hopefully they'll get it. It's really important that they do. You cannot tolerate that. The metaphor of harmony and listening is so important, I want you to just focus on it for a minute. I said use your ears to harmonize. I was listening to BBC radio, and they were talking about a band, I don't know what it was. And these guys, this is very simply describing, and what they said was these 4 band members were the best listeners. Is what they called themselves. They're the best listeners. That's why they were so together with each other, because they were such good listeners. And that's just exactly what I always say here. You want to harmonize? Good, listen. Okay, that's really important for relationships too, you know. So, generally though, when we Om, it would be half O and half generally. Okay, let's try that. Ready? Half O, half No, it's not a race to see who can Om the longest. It's not a competition. You don't want to play that game. I can Om longer than you. It's a nice long Om and move on to the next one. Even if someone in the class is trying to play the marathon Om game and see how long they can go, that's fine. You can do the second Om before they even finish the first one. And then they'll get the message. Okay? See that? The message is that we're all in it together. Okay? That no one's going to be stuck in their own world, doing their own thing in a situation like that. Okay? All right. Om is extremely powerful in its effect on your body, on your mind, on your immune system, on your entire being. Because as you create the field or the sound or the frequency of Om, you generate that's energy that's being generated, and then that's a field of energy within which you are bathing inside of. So it's like you're making the field, and then the field is healing you. Because Om relaxes every cell in the body. 10 minutes of Oms relaxes every cell in the body. Now remember what I said about relaxation and healing? What did I say about that? Remember I put a little equal sign there? They're kind of like the same thing. So Om is healing, it's relaxing, it is very good for your immune system, it increases your concentration, it harmonizes the room, it activates the third eye. This is the mantra of the third eye, to open up the third eye, it is Om. Okay. So do you guys now understand what you're doing with Oms? Now if you are in an environment like a school or a gym and they don't want spirituality, you won't Om. Okay? Some places don't let you Om because they don't want spiritual or what they consider to be religious tones in their gym, right? Because it's a gym. They're not there to try to bring you to enlightenment, they're there for fitness. And you know, and they don't want to offend their clients. So, do you understand that some people are, which is why whether you're doing Om or Gayatri mantra or any mantra, it's always join me if you wish, right? Or it's repeat after me if you wish. Because the if you wish part's really important. Not everyone wants to chant mantra. Not everybody is ready or is going to feel comfortable chanting Om. If they feel like that's Hindu, they might think. Oh, I don't want to do that. That's against my priest in my church told me that this is from the devil. I don't want to do this part. I just want to do the exercise part. What do you say to that? You say no problem. You don't try to convince them, oh no. No, it's not the case. This is the case. No, say no problem. We're not going to Om today. We're not going to Om ever. You know, it doesn't matter. Om isn't that important. It is important. We know it is, but not really. Okay. All right. Any questions about this? Yeah.
What's the difference between doing like a long O and a short M, or vice versa, or half and half?
Well, no, I can't tell you the actual difference in any sort of a mathematical way. I can just simply tell you that, generally speaking, it will be half O and half M. It's nothing wrong about doing in either case because they're all complete. Okay, they're all complete. It's just a matter of where is the vibration vibrating the most. Okay. But they're all valid and perfect. In a class, it's usually half and half, okay? Because there's a lot of ways of chanting Om. You can also chant it, when you're doing it by yourself, might chant it faster, you know? Om, 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 Om. You could be in yoga poses and you could be in the middle of pose and you could be Om, Om, Om. You can be counting Oms for your breath. Instead of counting counts, you could be counting Oms. Om, 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 Om. At 6. Om, Om, exhale, Om, and counting Oms. Okay? That's very advanced practices, okay? Where you're starting to bring it all together. Your concentration, the vibration, your intention, your breath. Okay? Yeah. All right, so are we okay on this subject of Om, which was from day 6? Anything that you'd like me to elaborate more about that? Yes? Is that a question? Yeah.
This is not related to the Om, but kind of a question. I was talking to somebody about the yoga class, I can't remember who, but they were asking about like the origins of different poses, whether you're doing these different poses to, I know some of them you're personifying trees or animals or plants. Are others like the side angles for, is it for lymphatic drainage or stretching or strengthening? Is there a book on that? I'm sure there is a book on that, on how the poses were designed in that very particular way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in your manual, which we should look at that and see what page it's on. Who wants to find that page in your manual? You'll look at it, it'll be, I don't know what section it is, but it'll start to mention all the poses, and then it will start to show all the benefits and where they're heading. And maybe it would be nice to make sure that we have all seen those pages. It should say something like benefits and contraindications, something like that.
It's page 137.
137. So why doesn't we all take the day and read this for homework, and then once you have digested that, we'll go with questions, okay? So please make sure you've read page 137 until where? Where does it finish? Which is basically all the benefits and contraindications of these poses. So it's about 4 pages. I mean, you need to have read this whole manual.
It's like 14.
Oh, it's 14 pages. All right, good. By the end of, this week, really, the whole manual needed to have been read, okay? Page for page. Read the whole thing. It's not optional. Don't just let it sit there. But specifically, please read about that, and then when you have any questions about it, we will talk about that. Okay? Thank you. What else you got? All right, so now I'm going to move on then with the next subject.